Hey YouTube, it's ECP. We're out here on the farm. We're going to do a little bit of feeding. We're going to add a super to one of these boxes for the fall bloom that hopefully is going to start here in about 3 weeks. Some of the bees need some room. If you see right here, there's the bee boxes here on the one on the right. They're brooding a bit, so we're going to give them a little bit of ventilation today. And we're going to add some sweet feed for bees, and some pollen patties. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get some good coverage. ECP, here we go. Okay, here we go. First hive. We are right now just taking the top off. Looking to make sure there's not a queen on the inside of the top. Now we're going to take the inner cover off of the first hive. Popping it off. Mrs. ECP is doing the videoing for me. I've already looked at the top. I'm looking now here at the bottom, the back side, making sure the queen's still not there. Got 2 honey supers. The top honey super is plumb full. That's the one for the bees. I'm letting them keep for the fall and winter time. I'm adding a pollen patty now. And now I'm going to give them a gallon of sweet feed, 1-to-1 sugar water that I boiled up and mixed at the house here. Didn't boil, just got it close to boiling, enough to where it would dissolve. And now we're pouring that in. Now the second super below that one is a super that we under-supered we put on last time that the bees haven't built up comb yet. I'm sure they haven't. There's not much of a bloom right now. We're probably about 2 weeks probably from our goldenrod bloom and our ironweed bloom. Looks like you see them behind me, a lot of wing stem and goldenrod behind me, and ironweed. We get a pretty good fall bloom here in the area. So I'm adding the sugar water. Now I'm at the second hive. Already taken the top off there. Mrs. ECP's doing the filming there from the truck. That's where she stays, of course. And I'm adding a gallon of sugar water, a 1-to-1 syrup to this hive also. And this is the hive I'm going to add a super to. Both of those deeps are completely filled out. So I am going to put a clean excluder on this one. And then I'm going to add a super to this one. That's what you saw on the back tailgate of the truck earlier. So that's working out pretty good. Probably going to just look in there, check and make sure they're all filled out nicely. I don't want to disturb them at all since we're in a dearth right now. I don't want to break into the honey and cause them to get robbed or start any kind of robbing. So I've just left them alone, checking out each one of the frames there. They're completely filled up. Those frames and both of those deeps are completed, so now we're going to add, and I go back later on after this and I add the clean excluder. I forgot, but I don't know if I put that video clip in here or not. But there's that one right there. There's already a pollen patty laying on top of that. And that's an 8-frame. I run an 8-frame hive, so those are 8 frames there, and I'll put some correct spacing on those frames after that too. Just a minute. So you can see I'm putting some spacers in for ventilation, and also put some spacers in. I'll remove the entry reducer on the other one. You see them here on the right there. And that last bicolor hive, they start brown and then light color. But those are all Hoover hives there you're looking at. On the left and the right there, complete Hoover hives. There'll be a website in my link for Hoover hives if you're interested. They're beautifully quality made. They're sending me some busy bee hives, which are their Amish made hives. The previous video I did on Hoover hives, I thought they were Amish made. They're actually up in Amish country, but their claim to fame with this, I'm telling my wife now I forgot the queen excluder. I'm going back and grabbing that. I don't know if I actually filmed it, but that's where I'm jumping off to. But telling you about the Hoover hives there are true dovetails, and then they are dipped there in wax. So that's their claim to fame. They're beautiful boxes, very high quality made. And then the bottom brown and the top brown super are busy bee hives that Galena Farms also sells. And I'm actually going to do a video here coming up. They're sending me some more boxes there, a deep and a medium, to put together to make a how-to video for people. So the busy bees and more are the Amish made hives. And as a correction too, I love their frames. Their frames are made out of New Zealand pine. I think on the previous video I might have said ponderosa pine, but they are definitely made out of New Zealand pine. They have great foundations and great frames. I'll tell you what, I'm spoiled. Their frames are readily comb made onto them by the bees. So they've already fed this one. We've got a pollen patty on all 3 of them now. Putting the covers back on. Getting ready to call it in the evening. Didn't want to make this too long a video. Made sure I used some smoke. And I think the last thing I'm going to do here is I sneak back down. I'm probably going to jump up there and pull that entry reducer so I get some more ventilation. All 3 of these hives are strong enough to, I think, to fight off the robbing from one another. I don't think I have anything weak. My swarm hive that I showed you before is at my house in the subdivision. So I'm on a vacant lot away from any kids or houses there, a great deal away on the back of a lot. But that one's building up. I just added a super to it also, so it's catching up real quick with my package hives here. Both of them on the right there are my package hives from Kelly's Bees in Kentucky. So I'm sneaking up there with the smoker. I'm going to remove that entry reducer we put on earlier when we were worried about robbing. And you know, if it's strong enough, I feel like I'm going to go ahead and remove that and give them some ventilation, because the bee numbers aren't too heavy in there, but obviously they need a little more ventilation, so I'm pulling that entry reducer right now. But hey, it's ECP telling you how much I appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and check out the links there for Hoover Hives and Galena Farms in the description. ECP, over and out.